sex, we love business, we love marketing. Like, it's the fucking energetics that moves everything. It's like coming to that place of, Christ consciousness, divinity, whatever you want to say, but coming to that place like requires presence. It requires embodiment. It requires like an opening of the heart and a receiving. And that's why I love like vision embodiment. Mm-hmm. Like, that is how we architect reality in the physical world, is like coming into that beautiful expanded state, seeing, receiving what is meant to come through you and your body of work. And I love starting with like, what is the highest vision for the world?
Women, this is a business podcast like no other. It is time to turn on your body, your life force, your eros, and your mission. It is time to tune up the volume of your voice and your message. Let this podcast be a permission slip and a portal into the next level of expansion in your business and the next upgrade in your personal brand and body of work. I will bring to you feminine leaders, way showers, and disruptors who are doing business differently. I hope you enjoy the episode.
Hello, everybody. I am here today with my dear soul sister, Monica Krake, founder of Head Plus Heart, the social agency, and just my all-time biz bestie. This is her second time on the show, and we were just laughing because it is the first day of school holidays, and so this is like the wild, wild west of podcasting. We have children in the other room. Monica's like hiding out. Are you in your basement? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in like our storage closet.
You're in your storage closet. I feel like this is like we're about to go traveling with our kids for 6 months, and I have like every now and then I just have like panic of like how am I going to work and like hold space for clients? And I have visions of myself in like closets and just random places just to get her done, and also like lush, beautiful co-working spaces and other options. But yeah, it's just, this is the reality of being a mom and having a business, and any moms listening, they can relate to this. And, like we could have children walking in at any time right now. And this is summer holidays, 2 months of this. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, I know like they could be putting on the blenders and whatever and at any moment, but
your kids bring you lattes, your kids bring you coffee. They're valuable.
Yeah, he did bring me coffee last time. That was awesome. Yeah, no, I feel good. I'm ready for a change of scenery. And like, I think it's really one of the things that I'm recognizing more and more and more is just the importance of sometimes taking the seasons of like putting things down for a new perspective, especially when you're going through big evolutions with work. And the other thing is like with my kids, I was chatting with my husband about this morning, just like I find so much joy in like entering into these spaces of holding deep connection with people through breath work and meditation, and like in my business relationships, like there's so much richness and depth and joy. And I think it's because it always feels like this mystical spiritual space, and that's what I get really feeling alive about. And this summer with the kids at home, I just want to bring that more into my family life too. Even though they just kind of want to like play video games and watch cat videos, I'm like, I just feel like, so just chatting with my husband, Alvaro, how can we kind of like bring them into some experiences, even if it's just more hiking in nature?
Mm-hmm. We were having a really similar conversation actually. Because the next 6 months for us as we leave Canada and we're heading to Bali, like for me and Dennis, like it feels like a very ceremonial time for us and our love, and we're renewing our vows, and it's there's a lot of ceremony, and we were like, how do we bring the boys into that? Because they're at the age now. When they were younger, it was nice, like they would be like more receptive to doing yoga with me or like joining me for meditation, and now they kind of resist it. They make fun of me, like it's a bit of fun in our family. And so we were like, well, what does ceremony actually look like how are they going to be receptive to like a more ceremonial, intentional, sacred space? And like a few things, like we've started praying and like blessing food and like just bringing that into our meals now, which is really beautiful. But it is like outside in nature, it is like doing the things that they want to do, that they are open and receptive and enjoying, and just like weaving in intentionality and like weaving in those, those conversations of like those heart conversations within the things that they're doing. Yeah. And I think like that feels like how we have ceremony with our family in this season.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, like when we went traveling, I started playing Block Blast, and I'm like, it is so addictive. But I'm like, just to have like be able to like hang out with them and kind of do what they're doing, or just these little things. Like, I feel that's what kids really want. They want you to do what they're doing. They're not going to want to come to a sound bath. I will try, but
oh, I tried that. It was a disaster. It was like in a dome, and every time they moved, it was terrible. Everybody heard them. It was, yes, not yet. Not yet. No. And I have to say how much I've admired, like ever since we've known each other, how well you have integrated motherhood and business together. Like I feel like I am getting so much better at it now, and like it's really because I've completely reoriented. My body of work is my children first and foremost, and that was like a shift. It wasn't always that way. It was always this like flip-flopping energy to like, I need to do this, and like the kids, and yeah, it was very dysregulating for a period of time. And I feel like I am in a different place now where it's like, yeah, it's I'm not compartmentalizing. It's like an integrated, not all the time. Sometimes, like even like today, the kids are home from school. Like it's their first day of summer holidays, and I'm kind of like, oh fuck, like the children are here and I have stuff to do. And then there's like the guilt, and I'm working with some sensations. But ultimately, I think when we can orient our body of work to like these beings and like the life is a ceremony type approach, that we get to, be able to give them what they truly need, which ultimately, like you said, it is presence. It is just presence with what is alive for them. And then we get to kind of respond and engage in that way. And that just unfolds so many beautiful conversations and curiosities. Like Rome, my 7-year-old, he's so curious right now. And we like literally will start with one thing and just adventure into a whole rabbit hole of discovery. And it's so beautiful. But has it always felt like so integrated to you, the mothering and like the business and weaving it all together piece?
Oh, no, not at all. I feel like not at all. Like, I think, when I first, I think we even talked about this on the last one, but the day before I launched the social agency, I met with my business partner, Kirsten, at a coffee shop, and she's like, let's partner up. And the next day is when I actually like went into labor. And so it was like, I was consulting. Yeah, I was consulting. And I think like one of the things that has drawn me into having my own business is the flexible schedule and being able to be like really efficient and, make a lot more money than you would working for somebody else, working way less. Like that is always been like the major draw. So, like at the beginning, I felt like, we were just calling in the support of like family for childcare, and then eventually like into daycare. And, like I remember like breastfeeding before like going into like big meetings to pitch clients and stuff like that, like just like doing trade-offs with Alvaro, my husband. And I think I do talk about work a lot with the kids, and now they're 11 and 16, and I do feel like that's maybe, especially for my older one who's more like thinking about his next steps in life and like what he might want to do. It's definitely like brought more entrepreneurial type conversations into the house. And he just naturally, I think he's also like a Capricorn. We have a lot of similarities, similar birthdays, and personality types. And I can definitely see that that's impacted him and thinking more of like what, just he's a self-starter. And so I feel like I do think those conversations open you up to the possibilities of what's out there. And I love talking about like careers and how people, how different businesses have gotten really successful, how they've gone from, A to B and how they've grown and like, so, and finance too. Like, so we do, I feel like, I don't think that's like necessarily what your question was, like integrating spirituality into it. But I do feel that being an entrepreneur, it has a big impact on your kids because they see you launching things and how you've done it. And it's like, oh, that's not that hard, so, but as far as like the spiritual side of bringing that into my family life, when the kids were really little, I used to go to church and then that started to not feel as aligned anymore. Although it did bring a lot of great conversations into our family. And then since then, like we've kind of tried some different things and we're still exploring, but what it usually comes down to is like when the kids are going through harder times, like just struggling, where they'll be more open to like a prayer or doing a meditation together. Or I'll say like, oh, do you want me to do some breath work for you? And it's really because they just really want to connect and have and feel the support kind of thing. And so like, and again, I also feel like that they're more open to that as they're little. Like it does get a little trickier as they get older. But I mean, I look back to what I was like when I was 16 and, everyone's evolving. So I'm not really deeply concerned, but it is like definitely an intention in our house to like, bring more presence with our children. Cause Alvar and I both we're so work oriented. And so I feel like we can get a little bit distracted by our own missions and all that stuff, And so like, yeah, we want to be meeting them where they're at, as much as we possibly can. That feels like more of a priority now because you can just see the passage of time. It's like, oh my gosh, how did this baby become 16?
And it's fun. It's a fun age when you can start having these types of conversations with them and like really seeing their little personalities and their path unfold. Like I work a lot with the higher self of my children. Like I'm often like sitting with the soul of my child and higher self and like asking, what is the next step? And this age is really so exciting because, so my youngest is 7, so he's can wipe his butt, he can like take care of himself a little bit. Like I can leave him in the other room and he's probably not going to come barging in. And so we're in the season of like adventure. And you're right. It's just such a precious time because you do start to see the finish line, and I think being an entrepreneur and like why we are both drawn to working for ourselves and like creating and expressing creator consciousness, which is ultimately what we're doing. Like we're creating our businesses and our lives in alignment with our heart's desires and these bigger missions, and to be able to weave in family into that is just so beneficial for everybody, And
I totally agree.
I know I want to hear like a little bit about your body of work because you have been an entrepreneur for a long time. How long? How many years have you been? Like when was the last time you had a real job? Body of Work Foundations by Presence Media is starting soon. It's time to return to your foundations, your roots, your body, your essence, and your truth, and build a body of work that changes the world from the inside out. Body of Work Foundations is a culmination of my nearly 20 years in the online space, supporting hundreds, if not thousands, of successful feminine leaders and descending into a body-based way of being in business. Don't be fooled by the word foundations. This is not a business 101 or basic business program. This program will challenge the most fundamental aspects of you. It'll bring you to your knees, sober you to what is, and require you to face all your worldly fears. It'll ask you to stand in your power and meet resistance and discomfort as your physical reality shifts around you, creating space for your new body of work to emerge. It will require difficult decisions and hard conversations. For this reason, we have brought in a support network of teachers, some of the best somatic practitioners and energetic workers of our time, to guide you back to your foundations, the roots of who you are and why you are here. If you're ready to build your body of work from a rooted place of truth, get on the waitlist for Body of Work Foundations and receive exclusive pricing for when it launches later in June. This program is self-paced and includes 7 core teachings and dozens of supplementary teachings and practices to descend you into your most pristine and potent body of work. All the details are in the show notes.
Well, I have barely had one because my very first job when I was 24, I worked for BC Biotech. That was my first job out of graduating, and I was their communications manager, and basically like did that for 2 years, and then I went traveling, and then so it's been 20 years, like 20 years of having my own business. And it's
like
awesome.
You started the social agency like right when social media came about, did you?
Yeah,
like
in 2009. Yeah, 2009 is when it started. And that was the year Noah was born, my oldest. So, yeah, it's definitely like a parallel journey of parenting and, creating a business at the same time. And and I think like you asked, like, how has your body of work evolved? It's been a constant inquiry, and I feel like as I've gotten more courageous with actually listening to the answers within around that question, like, what is it about, like, I feel like there's one important question to ask yourself when you're wanting to step out into entrepreneurship. What do you embody that helps people see the world in a bigger way? And even if that does come down to like marketing, maybe that can be expressed in so many different ways. But if you think about what it is that you as a person embodies that actually helps other people live a bigger life or step into their dreams and goals in a certain way, or serves in some way. I mean, service doesn't have to be part of it, but it usually is. I feel like as I've kind of, that question will change as we grow in life. And, when I started a business back in the day, I had skill sets that I turned into something that people wanted. And so, we grew a team, and it worked out really well. And it was like, there was a lot of flexibility, and that was great. But then as like I started listening to my own inner compass around who am I and what does my soul truly desire to do in this life, I really started needing like a spiritual outlet. And my mission is being more about like helping people connect with real transformation. And so that's how Head Plus Heart was born. I feel like it kind of comes down to that shift from doing to being. And so I created that platform basically to support people on their journey from doing to being, to connect with real transformation, like quality and like vetted healers and practitioners and experiences and even resources and courses. Like the whole platform is about helping people connect with real transformation. And then through that, in my own personal work, I've really attuned to this desire to work with people more intimately and spiritually. And it's still probably going to change my whole life. I just have a feeling like we just shift and evolve and like do new things, and things become exciting in different ways. Right now it's with breath work and energetics and helping people almost connect with, I call it like Christ consciousness. I don't even really know if I want that to be on this podcast. I'm like coming out of the closet.
We can call it divinity. We can call it source consciousness. They're just fucking labels for the same thing.
Yeah, like I just feel like with facilitating that there's like a higher presence of light and love that comes in that's beyond me. And, everybody talks about this in their own language. Like, I've been a fan of Dr. Joe Dispenza for a long time and has been like influenced by his meditations but he just talks about consciousness, like tapping into the greater consciousness and the energy of consciousness. And that's what brings us into, the magnetism of our dreams and desires in life, that we pull those into our field through connecting with, consciousness, which is basically God. Or at least that's my understanding. Maybe he'd interrupt and say something else, but I feel like, that's kind of what I feel like my body of work has evolved into. And it's been so fun because yours as well has been shifting and evolving, and we've been on these parallel paths. And so, I'd love to hear like your take on that and how your body of work has evolved.
Oh, thank you for asking. Yeah, and I want to talk about Head Plus Heart, so we will talk about that because we've got some really exciting things to kind of announce, and I'm going to be coming on board and supporting as an advisor for Head Plus Heart, and so I do want to talk about like, wow, like what you've already created something so amazing for this platform, like so amazing, and it's about to expand and it's evolving. And it's so interesting, like when I explore my body of work. So I've always been very entrepreneurial. I've studied marketing at university and just so curious, right? Like I've dabbled in this, I dabbled in that, I started up this, like I've always kind of been starting things up. But I feel like when things really started like anchoring for me with my body of work was this like combination of business and marketing, like working with leaders, people that are here that have missions that are like really showing a new way forward for humanity with their expertise and their body of work. And that's kind of where I am now in terms of like that's what Presence Media is all about. Like it's all about like working with these feminine leaders and taking everything off of their plate that is keeping them stuck and in the weeds of their body of work so they can go out, share their voice, be in their genius. And like the stepping stones to this was just me, working with different people, different clients, seeing what worked, seeing what didn't, launching this. Like I had membership communities and courses and all of the things. And kind of where I am at now is, I shared this with you. I haven't actually spoken this to anybody but you, I don't think. So I'm just going to like share a little bit, but like where I'm truly being guided and where I have been guided over the last 10 years, like just in the journey back into my body and into a place of like regulation and presence and, working with the elements in the land and medicine, like plant medicine. For me, that comes mostly in ceremonial cacao, but also psilocybin. Like I feel like there's more medicines on the horizon, but just like ultimately bringing, like restoring these ancient earth-based wisdoms onto the planet feels like such an essential part of my body of work in the evolution, like in the coming years. And what that looks like now in this moment is how I work with clients. Like we are always coming back into the truth of the body and seeing what's there. Like we are working with sensation, we are alchemizing, and this is something you and I both share, even though like, yes, we love business, we love marketing, like it's the fucking energetics that moves everything. It's like coming to that place of, Christ consciousness, divinity, whatever you want to say, but coming to that place like requires presence. It requires embodiment. It requires like an opening of the heart and a receiving. And that's why I love like vision embodiment. Like that is how we architect reality in the physical world, is like coming into that beautiful expanded state, seeing, receiving what is meant to come through you and your body of work. And I love starting with like, what is the highest vision for the world? Like for me, like I am here to build a world that is in harmony, that is connected to the natural way, and I don't know if I'm going to see it in this life. I experience this as my reality. I understand this isn't the collective reality, but for my day to day, like most of the time, like that is how I experience reality. That is how I'm parenting, like in terms of like, we are the creator, we can, and that is how my life unfolds. Right. And so when I work now, like as my body of work and working with clients, like it is just really tuning them back into the source of their highest vision and why they're here, and like really letting that, that God-led vision. Like I talk about like the good plan and a God plan. The good plan is the one the mind is like, this is what happens, this is how I should do it, this makes sense. And the God plan is like, like this is a fuck yes to every ounce of your soul. And when we can really tune into that and like just take the human element out of the driver's seat and like surrender to the divine plan, like surrender to divine scale, knowing that we are so supported, and it is truly our job just to be present in our hearts and responding from a place of love and service in this present moment. Like I think we can truly experience beyond what we know is possible. And so that's how my body of work is shifting now, is like working with clients in that capacity. Yes, we can take on your marketing stuff also. And like what excites me most is the energetic component. And I know that's what's exciting you most too right now. And like, I love you to speak about breath work and how breath work has like, how that's illuminated so much in terms of how you work with clients. So, and how that's like shifting your body of work now.
Yeah, I'd love to share about that. I mean, it's so interesting because like both is needed. And so, like I had this mastermind group, the business activation, and I've run it twice now. And the offer was like helping people create, get to their next level in business through strategy, a community mastermind, and energetics. And having now done that a couple of times and seeing the way like it's supported and helped people create those dream businesses that they wanted to, and what they came in with and what they left with. The thing that is the most powerful in that is alignment. And I feel like a lot of people know this, like alignment first before action. Like if you're aligned with your vision for what you're creating, with who you really are, though, is what it comes back down to. It's being aligned with who you really are. And I think that's the thing that people need more time with usually, because we are so bombarded by, kind of the right way to do things in business and marketing and life, like even beyond business and marketing. It's just like we are like flooded with stimulation in our world. And so to move from like a deeply sovereign place, a deeply sovereign and connected place with who you are and what you're here for, that comes down to your state of being. And our state of being needs like slowness, and it needs stillness, and it needs to listen and to be really aligned with your true state of being. I feel like that's where you can experience like infinite healing and possibilities and potentialities. And like it just, when you tap into that state, anything becomes possible. And so for me, I mean, I get really preachy. I'm like, breathwork has just been like life-changing, because I've always meditated, but when I discovered breathwork, I think it was 6 or 7 years ago, it was the first time that I really reconnected with my body. Like I've just been such a cerebral person. So it's this form of meditation. It basically allows you to drop out of your mind. For people who get stuck in their mind, who ruminate, overthink, plan, and that's a lot of people in business and entrepreneurship and the whole world, but it's a beautiful way to let your mind take a break because it's something active that you're doing. And so for people who are listening who aren't totally familiar, like breathwork can mean so many different things. The kind of breathwork meditations that I offer it's a circular breath. And sometimes I work with the 3-part breath too. I like that one as well. But most of the time it's a circular breath where you're breathing in and out of an open mouth. You're connecting your inhale into your exhale. You're finding a current within the body where that current of breath, once you drop into it, it begins to take on a life of its own within the body, and it will shift your state of being. It will basically help to quiet the mind and bring you through the mental realm down into your emotional landscape. And that's where we can like excavate things that are blocked in our emotional being, where people have these incredible just like rememberings, or even sometimes they don't even know where it's coming from, but they'll have like clearings of stuck emotions or memories coming up from maybe childhood or circumstance, different situations where they've been holding on to stories about themselves or other people that have really been keeping them stuck. And so breathwork can be a massive excavation and clearing of patterns and blocks that are keeping us in a more limited place of being. And then once we are allowing our body to be free with those and clearing of those, then we tap into the more intuitive realm within. And that's where people have these beautiful experiences in breath work where they connect with higher guidance. And sometimes it's like ancestors, sometimes it's their own inner wisdom and knowing, sometimes it's like mystical experiences, and sometimes like crazy healing happens. Like I've had people come in with chronic pain and I can't really explain how that shifts for them. I don't believe it's me. Like I'm not going to take credit for that, but I do feel like our breath connects us with something much bigger than ourselves. And there's a reason why, like, throughout history, you can trace breathwork practices to different indigenous communities around the world, in India and South America, all around the world, and that have practiced breathwork as a form of spiritual and physical healing. And so nobody today can take credit for breathwork. It is just, I believe, a tool that is here to support us. And as you can tell, I'm really excited about breathwork. So I think that if I'll let you take it away from here, or I'll just keep talking.
I mean, I could talk forever about the breath too. I love how you described it. And, breath work for me, and I'll keep it brief because, it's like so deep in my heart. But it was the thing that unlocked everything for me, that helped me descend into my body, and that now is just such an ally for the creative process. For me, it's everything. And it's actually like a huge part of Body of Work Foundations, which is my Presence Media's signature offering, and you're featured in that teaching breath work. And I do think for anybody that has a big mission, that is really here to anchor in a big vision, the breath is the most it's the primary, most fundamental part of being human is the fucking breath. Obviously, It's our life force. It's the Holy Spirit. It is the most foundational aspect of us. And to be able to understand the mechanics of the breath, to understand how the breath regulates our system, how it connects our head and our heart, how it clears, how it heals. Like, it is foundational. It is so, so, so important. And so, it's everything for a strong foundations of a body of work, a strong foundations of a present-centered woman, human. And so I'm so grateful that you're sharing breath work as part of Body of Work Foundations. And also it's just a huge part of how you work with people now, even through Head Plus Heart. And, I do want to speak a little bit about Head Plus Heart right now. We're going to be talking much more about it over the coming months now that I'm coming in officially to support you, the team at Presence Media, and also just me as an advisor. And we've got like a freaking advisor dream team happening. Yes, so like, oh my God, so much goodness there. But I mean, can you speak a little bit about Head Plus Heart? This is a platform that you've grown and already has like incredible reach, incredible people that you're featuring. Like, you have done so amazing with it, and now we're just taking it to the next level. And so do you want to speak a little bit about Head Plus Heart and how people can get involved now and in the future?
Sure. Yeah. So when I first started Head Plus Heart, like I said, my mission was to create a space where people can discover transformation. And because back then I was really looking for like vetted, healers, practitioners. I wanted to go join a meditation community, go on retreats, explore like different personal growth courses and programs, and just realized like there's so much noise online. And so I had this inspired idea to basically create a trusted place of discovery for transformation. And, to be honest, I mean, over the years, like I've had my marketing agency, young children, and just a very like curious person, like doing a lot of different things. And so this year I've felt a very strong calling to put my energy and focus into Head Plus Heart. I feel like it's time for it to expand, and it has become a go-to resource for like thousands of people. And I feel like there's this energy coming in around community, because there's parts of it that it's a place where people discover transformation and community. And it's also got another side where it's a community for healers and practitioners, and where I've kind of brought together the best of healers and practitioners. And now with the support of you and my other advisors, expanding it beyond like Monica's healers into, just some very like incredible people from all over the world that are going to be featured on the platform as editorial contributors. So that feels really, really exciting, to be able to showcase. And I feel like I keep getting connected with people who are doing such incredible work, whether it's as a TCM or relationship coach. I just met this really life-changing man who's an incredible relationship coach, because so many people have struggles and it shows up in different ways. So it's either like whether it's like trauma coaching, or you're interested in manifestation, or women's health and hormones, or whatever it is. So the goal with Head Plus Heart is to showcase, not the goal, but what we're doing is to showcase like the best of the best in all areas of healing. And to help people find these places of transformation that are like vetted and tried and true, and, taking kind of the work out of it for seekers. Like, these are the people that you can rely on. We also, just to, as a side note, I don't want wellness to be exclusive, wellness or spirituality. So my mission with Head Plus Heart is always being to keep it down to earth and accessible. So people will always find affordable and even free options on the site and through the newsletter for resources to support their transformation. Like, people have said like, oh, it's like Goop, but more down to earth. And it's kind of, but definitely the mission behind it is to be accessible to everybody, and to also represent all different types of voices of healing and different people from all different backgrounds. So it's not just a bunch of like white people on there talking about what they do. There's all different backgrounds from all ethnicities.
I love like just you have always, ever since I've known you, had like impeccable standards with everything. And this is like really filtered through to Head Plus Heart in terms of like the caliber of contributors already on the platform. And I am so excited about the new, like, I know some of the ones I'm helping you behind the scenes, like really invite the people that we want to feature, that we know we're very passionate about getting their voices out, because the vision that you see for Head Plus Heart, and I'm like now just like so tuning into this too, like this is going to be the number one spiritual wellness platform in North America.
Yeah.
Right. And you've already made such great headway there. And with the team of advisors that we have, and just with what we know about working with the creative process and really offering like our highest service and heart into this mission, like it's going to happen. And, already, like I said, the caliber you have, that we have of contributors is world class. And I cannot wait. I'm just so like fully into this next evolution of Head Plus Heart. So if you're listening to this, stay tuned, like more in this space. We actually have a meeting with this Presence Media team right now about Head Plus Heart and the launch. So we're going to have to wrap this show up. But yeah, is there anything you want to leave listeners with before we jump on to our next call?
I would say, like, maybe we can share the sign up for the newsletter. I know you did that in the last podcast too, but for people who are curious to discover, whatever they're seeking in their own lives for support with their spiritual and health and wellness journey, to sign up to get the resources. And then also, like, for people who are practitioners and healers and experts who are listening, to also sign up, because we're creating more and more community for people like that too. And you and I are probably going to be doing even things together on that front. So there's a chance for people to kind of get community on both sides if they're interested.
And if you're listening to this, and I know you personally, or Monica, and you are a practitioner, somebody that does have a body of work that is already helping people thrive, and you're interested in one of the contributor spots, just like DM us, reach out to us privately, because that is what we're doing over the next few months, is like really curating a group of just expert practitioners that we're going to be partnering with and supporting in sharing your message through the channel of Head Plus Heart. So reach out to us individually if you're listening to this and you're curious to be part of this. And then, we'll share the links to subscribing to your newsletter. Your newsletter is like a resource, and you actually, like, people actually open your emails because they're really valuable. And so we'll share a link to that. And so much more to come. Check out Body of Work Foundations to experience some of Monica's breath work, and to really experience and anchor in the foundations of your body of work through your body to hold a mission that is going to impact millions. And just leaving that there, like, just the deepest prayer, everybody listening, is to fully realize their gifts and why they are here, and to just remember who you truly are as a creator. And any way that we can support, please reach out in all the ways. Thank you so much, Monica, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode, and thanks so much to another amazing guest. If you love this episode, please make sure to subscribe to our channel. We are committed to producing weekly episodes to turn you on and tune up the volume of your voice and impact in the world. I would love to stay connected. You can come and follow me over on Instagram at The Grounded Visionary. Or if you're interested in learning more about the services we provide at Presence Media, check us out at www.presencemedia.co. See you next week.